Hello there, my name is Steve Horton. I'm one of the leaders at Crystal Peaks Church, and it's my pleasure to kick off the first of a short series of videos that we're entitling Coronavirus and God. And the reason we're doing that is because God is involved in every aspect of our lives. It doesn't matter whether we are young or old, whether we are Chinese or African, whether we are getting married, going to school, God is present and God is involved. So when we come to something like coronavirus, which is something that none of us have experienced before, it's only natural to say, so where does God fit into this? I'm not sure we know all the answers, because many of the answers require us to be able to think like God, and we clearly can't. But there are things we can consider. There are things I will consider with you. We're going to think today about the peace that God can bring in this troubled time. And if you've got any questions, talk to us. Go to crystalpeakschurch.org.uk. It's where you're watching this now, and use our contact page. Send us a question. If you need to, there's a phone number. Call us. We won't respond in the middle of the night. You can leave a message. You can send us a text. If you want to be abusive, well, we'll not respond. But if you've got a serious question, do come back to us. And what I'd like to do this afternoon, because it's afternoon for me as I'm recording this, is just share something with you of the peace that's possible during such a difficult time. I read this last week. It's from a doctor in northern Italy, where there are so many fatalities. And he says this, or she says this: up until 2 weeks ago, my colleagues and I were atheists. It was normal because we're doctors and have learned that science excludes the presence of God. I always laughed at my parents. They used to go to church. 9 days ago, a 75-year-old pastor came to us. He was a gentleman. He had a very serious respiratory problem, but he carried a Bible with him. He impressed us because he read to the dying and would hold their hand. All of us doctors were tired, discouraged, physiologically and physically done. When we had time, we listened to him. Now we have to admit, we as humans have reached our limit. We cannot do any more, and more people die every day. We are exhausted. 2 of our colleagues have died, and others have been infected. We've realized that whatever man is able to do ends. Then we need God. And we started to ask him for help. When we have a few free minutes, we speak amongst ourselves. We cannot believe that from being ferocious atheists, we are now in search of our peace every day, asking the Lord to help us resist so that we can continue to care for the sick. Yesterday, the 75-year-old pastor died. And until today, despite having had another 120 deaths in 3 weeks here, and all of us being completely exhausted and destroyed, he managed, despite his condition and our difficulties, to bring us peace, which we no longer hoped to find. The pastor went to the Lord, and soon we will also follow him if it continues like this. I haven't been home in 6 days, and I don't know when I ate last, and I realise my uselessness on this earth. I am happy to have returned to God while I'm surrounded by the suffering and death of my fellow men. It's very powerful, isn't it? And it just shows that when we turn to God, even in these difficulties, we can know peace. We can know comfort. I pray that if you're struggling for peace, if you're worried about the future, I pray that you will turn to God. Talk to us if you don't know how to do that. Look at some of the talks or sermons on our website to see if they give you a clue. But all you have to do, honestly, is call out to God in the quietness of your home. Call out. Say to him, God, just show me yourself. Just let me see where you are and give me peace. And he will. Thank you for listening. I pray that you will keep safe, and I hope that I'll see you back here shortly. Bye bye for now.